Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another outstanding episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I'm your host. Wait, in the first corner, we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she goes on crazy misadventures such as shopping for DeLoreans, looking for the fabled Cobra Kai dojo, and dressing up as one of the Road Warriors, picking fights with random people. And one time, she actually spoiled the Knight family's dinner, her own family's dinner. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. In the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we're going to talk AEW All In tonight. That's right. And you can see we have a full house tonight. Everybody is all in because this is a very interesting pay-per-view as well. Because not only is it the first All In, it's pretty much the first All In outside of the United States of America. And we have a pretty interesting card. But before we get into that, let me do my introductions. Let me take one more sip of some orange soda. Man, here's a spot. Reminds me of Good Burger. And let me introduce our guest. So, our first guest, this guy is a regular. Man, it's crazy how Twitter friendships can just blossom. But he is a retro gamer, and he has some cool gaming merch. Everybody, welcome to the show. Also, from Louisiana, home of Cafe Du Monde and their beignets. Man, those things are like crack. Georgio Arcade. Next up, we have a woman who is a very talented artist. Man, I wonder if I have her draw a caricature of me, how it would turn out. I got a feeling I might be ready for the MCU by the time she's done with me. She is actually also my fellow Brooklynite, I think, and also, but definitely my fellow countrywoman. That's right, we're both from the land of many waters, Guyana. Everybody, welcome to the show, artiste extraordinaire, Giselle Funky Punk NYC. In the next corner, we have a man who I actually met online when I was interviewing his now fiance. And by the way, we are expecting our invitations when y'all get married, or I'm gonna come to your wedding and say I'm your brother, and that's gonna cause some family drama. And he is actually a Japanese wrestling extraordinaire. Anything you want to know about Japanese wrestling, this man will definitely tell you about it. A great mind to actually listen to. He used to be in Ohio. Now he's in the great state of California. He is Heel Mago. In the second to last corner, we have another guy who is, oh man, I cannot go to your city. Every time I go there, I leave there 20 pounds heavier. He actually resides in Atlanta by way of Wakanda. He is also another brother that enjoys retro gaming. Hey, yo, Georgio, I think y'all should definitely start a little show together because y'all got something great going on. Everybody, welcome to the show, JB versus the World. And in the last corner, something? I think I'm out of orange soda. You know what? This man is a West Coast legend. I'm gonna just go ahead and let him actually, introduce himself as well. I don't have no more soda to do an intro, and I'm not disrespecting him. It's just that he does it so well that it would be a travesty for me to actually do it. So, our last guest, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, that's by far the kindest way to say that you've never heard of me. No, I'm kidding. Hi, everybody. It's me, Dino Winwood, and of course, you know my roommate, Howdy Price, the golden, the charge and Boba the Golden Horns of the Price Check Ranch. I was also former commissioner of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla back in the golden era. I've been around for a long time, and honestly, I'm pretty happy to be here to share this panel with a wonderful group of individuals to tell you my predictions of how it's going to be. I am Dino Winwood.
Well, I gotta say, it's an honor to have you on, sir. Because when Heel Maggle messaged us and told us, "Hey, can my boy Dino Winwood come on?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. You could bring your friends. We don't mind." But then when he showed me the profile link and I saw who it was, I was like, "Wait a minute! I know that guy. That guy's from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Wow, Heel Maggle, you are an impressive man, sir." Trust me, I shudder to think who you hang out with on a Saturday night. Let me find out you know Tito Escondido, and you and I are definitely going to share a couple of rounds to talk about that. But with that being said, thank you all for being on here. For those of you that are actually watching at home, in the comfort of your own home or wherever you're comfortable at, feel free to actually give your own predictions as to what you think is going to happen in the card. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to go around the room. I'm going to start with Kathy and make my way around, and we're going to go through the card match by match by match. And, we're going to give our predictions as to who may win, who's going to lose, what's going to happen, what alliances are going to form, what alliances are going to break up, hell, who might turn heel, who might turn face. We're going to do that with this card. So with that being said, we have AEW All In, straight from jolly old England. What do y'all think about this card so far?
There's some great potential. Speaking of turning heel and face, Dino, don't you think for a couple of spots on this card, one in particular I'm thinking of, there's a great opportunity for maybe a double turn. I'm thinking about the MJF Adam Cole spot.
Baby.
Yeah. So what do you think about the opportunity? We'll get to the prediction of the outcome of the match, but who do you think, is this going to be a solid turn? Do you think MJF is playing us, or is it going to be a double turn for both? Is MJF a solid face, and now is Adam Cole a heel?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a great opportunity for a double turn. I mean, you really have to put in the factor that both MJF and Adam Cole are fantastic workers. You know what I mean? Like they straight up just they know how to work it without making it sound so obvious. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. They have a lot of history with each other, especially on the indies. So it's just a natural fit. There's I'm thinking also there might be an opportunity for some turns in the Darby Allin versus Swerve match, because that whole AR Fox thing happened awfully fast. So I don't know if that's a permanent turn, or I think there's another shoe to drop on that one.
Yeah, I definitely hope not. they were such a good team.
So we also have one more guy. I don't mean to cut you gentlemen off. We also have one more guy that just entered the room. We thought he wasn't going to make it, but he made it. He is one of the most hilarious wrestling content creators online. If you ever get a chance, check out his stuff. It'll have you cracking up. He's my fellow New Yorker, Henny Wrestling. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hey guys, I'm doing well. Hope all is well with you guys, and hope you guys are enjoying making your predictions for tomorrow All In.
Yeah. We're just talking about how the card is, what we think about it, and so on. So, anybody else have any thoughts about the card, so on? Anything at all?
AEW shows have no problem putting on great wrestling matches. My only issue with them typically is story investment typically, most of the time, like when it comes to the main event, I'm not as heavily as invested as I probably should be. But this time it's a switch. Heavily invested in this main event. Actually, a couple of matches I'm like really looking forward to seeing. But overall, I know this is going to be like solid from top to bottom. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we have 11 matches. Well, two of them are going to be on the pre-show. Several great ones, and yeah, I'm all for it. Oh man, pre-show is going to be looking spicy. All right, so with that being said, the first match that we have is actually it's going to be on the pre-show, and it's going to be a tag team match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. It's going to be the defending champions, Aussie Open, Mark Davis, and Kyle, Mr. Steal Your Girl Fletcher, or is it Mark Davis? I don't know, whichever one it is. You know what? Let me stop before I actually get my butt kicked. But yeah, Aussie Open defending against the I guess everyone's new favorite tag team, the Masters of the double clothesline, MJF and Adam Cole.
Better than
You supposed to,
baby.
I thought he was go. There you go. All right. So, Kathy, who you got for this one?
So I want to see Aussie Open lose and MJF and Adam Cole win because it'll add. There you go. It'll add some shit to their main event and kind of mix things up. And they'll walk in as tag team champions, and one of them is gonna walk out as AEW champion, which we'll get to that later. But yeah, I want to see some shit stirred. So I'm gonna go with MJF and Adam Cole.
Baby.
There you go.
Why am I not surprised you'd want to see some stuff get stirred, Kathy? You're always the mischievous one. I'm telling you. Don't go to Texas and pick fights with those people at New Texas Pro, because trust me, we don't have insurance here, so let's be careful with that. Giselle, how about you? Who you got for this one?
I think it might be MJF and Adam Cole on that one, because yeah, exactly. I'm thinking mainly because it'll, like Kathy said, it'll like add a layer of confusion and kind of like help the storyline progress, because if in the case that they do win, maybe it might prolong them from turning on each other. Like it'll like build more tension. And I'm thinking like, in the case that they do win the tag team titles, but like if depending on how the the world championship match goes, it might I think it would be good for like a tension builder, if anything, if they're actually gonna go with a storyline for it. So
okay,
yeah.
Awesome. Heel Maggle, who you going with, man?
So this is MJF versus Adam Cole.
Baby.
First up.
Well, they're pulling double duty. They're doing this tag team match.
That's right.
And then they got the singles match. It's gonna be crazy.
That's right. It's the tag match first, then an Aussie Open. So yeah, Aussie Open really deserves a win. I think just so it's a better story, I think they should MJF and Adam Cole need to lose, and that way there's a little bit of turmoil going into the main event. Like one can blame the other. So yeah.
Okay. Dino, how about you?
Well, I mean, this is a particular case between MJF and Adam Cole, baby. I mean, it definitely could be the standard route of we had the titles. Where were you? Miscommunication going into it. But I definitely agree that them winning the titles would add more tension to it. They're like, oh shit, they did it. Like they're literally going to have to go in and just have a standard contest to see who is the better one. And if once that smoke clears, the unpredictability of, is Cole going to turn on MJF or is MJF going to turn on Cole? But like, I really think that like, as far as this match goes for the tag titles, it really would be better if Aussie Open won it, because yeah, they do deserve a tag title run. Like, they really haven't like done too much with it. They've had some fantastic defenses, but I think they could go a little more distance. There's a lot more great teams that they can go against to show and put some more shine on those Ring of Honor tag team titles, as opposed to letting them be just a pass around prop.
Okay. JB, who are you going with?
As much as I would like to see Aussie Open retain, what goes in my mind about it is who takes the pin. Like going to that main event, like I can't see either one of them do it. MJF, he's a champ. He hasn't been pinned in so long. Like, well, in a singles match, or really didn't pin that tag team match. But the point is, he's a champ. He really can't afford to get pinned going into the show. Like, literally, like at the venue. He can't have that happen. Cole really can't afford that either, but he's more likely to afford it. Plus, he's also made it known how much the tag team championships of Ring of Honor mean to him, as he's never won those before. So I'm going with Better Than You, baby. And adding that extra layer to the main event, I don't think nobody turns by the end of the night, but I think the turn is eventually coming. But I do think it's not coming in the way that you guys might be thinking. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, to answer the question, Better Than You, baby.
Yeah, I think Roddy has to play in somehow. Yeah, they're like the Chekhov's gun. It's like they have him hanging around too often for him not to play into it.
Now,
yeah,
I'll get to that. We'll talk about that. Because we here.
Henny, who you got, man?
I don't know how you guys like this tag team. I don't like it at all because I don't trust MJF. I'm rolling with Aussie Open. I don't think they need the tag team titles at all. I think they're just trying to stir up and build up for the World Championship match that they're gonna have later on that day. So I'm rolling with Aussie Open, retaining the Ring of Honor tag team titles. And speaking about Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher with Sky Blue, you got people turning to Dolph Ziggler. It should have been me. But I'm rolling with Aussie Open on this one.
Man, come on. I was more of a Jade Cargill kind of guy. Giorgio, who you got, man?
Willow. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Is he?
Control D. Okay.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I got it. Okay. I think MJF and Adam Cole are gonna lose.
Baby.
Because I think if they lose the match, it's gonna add more drama to the main event. Because they're gonna go into that main event angry at each other, which is gonna make for a better match. Because now MJF is gonna probably want to get back at Adam Cole, and Adam Cole is gonna want to get back at MJF. They're gonna start blaming each other for that. So, yeah, I think it's gonna add if they do that. So, I think Aussie Open is gonna win. Although I'm not too high on those guys per se, but I think them getting a big win like this in Wembley would do big wonders for them, because you have to wonder after this pay-per-view what's gonna happen for them. So, them having a big win like this will definitely give their character something going forward.
Yeah. Honestly, I think something's gonna happen, and Aussie Open are gonna end up getting the win. I got a good feeling. It'll be great for them because, you beat two world champions in Adam Cole and MJF. I definitely think that they would definitely this would definitely be great for them and legitimize them as Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. So I'm gonna have to go with Aussie Open on this one as well. But I'm gonna stir the pot and say, and I do look forward to seeing Aussie Open versus Darius Martin and Action Andretti very soon. Henny, if you know, you know. Let me stop, man. Let me stop.
Oh,
But
I know what you're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Aussie Open for this one. And by the way, the whole team of MJF and Adam Cole, to me, there is only one tag team partner that I can see MJF teaming with, and he is not in. I'm gonna mention the name later on. Henny, I know you know what I'm talking about. But he is not in AEW yet, but he is a free agent. So I'll say who I think who I think. I'll reveal who it is, when we do the final predictions of the card. So the next match that we have on the card is a singles match for the FTW Championship. This is also going to be a pre-show match. It's going to be the former Jungle Boy, the guy who is, dating the one of the baddest chicks in pro wrestling, according to him, Jack Perry, versus Hook. Kathy, who you got for this?
So Jack wants to retire the FTW title. I really don't see that happening, so I'm gonna go with Hook.
Okay. Giselle, how about you?
I would prefer if Hook won. I would much rather him win over this kind. I don't, to be honest, I'm not really caring for this current character change for Jungle Boy, and for me, I don't think it suits him. It's just me personally. But I feel like if I'm going with what I think might happen, I feel like Jungle Boy will find a way to weasel the win in, and then I feel this one it might be unlikely, but it's just like something I was playing with in my head, that he might pull like a fast one and be like, oh, you know what, since I won, I guess I'll keep this championship after all, or something like that. But I feel like there might be some kind of shenanigans, and Jack Perry will win somehow.
Okay. Heel Mago, how about you? Who are you going with?
Yeah, no, it's totally Hook. There's no way they're retiring the FTW title. Did you hear Taz when Jack said he was going to retire? He was like, what? He's like, you're going to do what? It's like I don't know. I didn't hear about this. So, yeah, there's no way they're retiring Taz's title without consulting Taz, as it seemed like, at least. So, Hook's totally winning, and they're just gonna move on. I don't know. Jack needs help. He's gotten better a lot. He's gotten a lot better, but he's still like theater class. Like he needs some work. I don't know how he's a son of an actor like that. That does not fit.
Dino, who are you going with?
Wow. Well, for starters, his father was in one of the greatest movies of all time, Terminal Bliss. Nobody saw that.
That's fine cinema.
That was like his first post 90210 role. But honestly, I mean, I feel like there's a lot more work to be done with this feud. To which, I mean, Jack could get the victory, or Hook could get the victory, but honestly, it would just end it right there. And there really hasn't been, I feel, enough fire behind this. Like, this really needs to be like more of a blood feud, as opposed to, you betrayed me, you hit me with this, and then you took my dad's belt and everything else. Like, no, we need to build these two up to a point where you have to pay attention to it. Because honestly, personally, whenever it comes in, I'm like, oh yeah, that's still going, huh? So they need to turn this up more. So I'm thinking that whether Hook gets I really think it would be this way. It'd be a better way to get the heat for it. And I'm predicting this. Hook gets the victory. However, Jack kills the celebration, beats him down, and then slams that belt on the pole, on the stairs, literally breaks it. Says, no, you can keep the belt. No, I've already broken it. Then, that's it. I win either way. You know, this is just a broken title. This is literally just a shadow of the past, just like the shadow that you're living in of your father, who's nothing but a relic from the past. Like, literally just bring more heat to
That's
it.
good.
Because they haven't done
Okay.
jack with Jack. I mean, that theme song is ass. Like, legitimately. You pick, out of all the public domain orchestra music, you pick the least bit villainous. This is literally just, who drank all my apple juice? Like, what the hell is
I
that?
was just telling my fiance about that today. Like,
Right?
like this is the best one you can pick, honestly.
Right? Like, legit. Because as soon as he did, I'm like, this can't be his theme. Like, I talked to my friend Eden, who's like, you know, they're from England, and they're like, he chose this one. I'm like, I know, right? There's no to this. Like, so they need a lot of work to do. Whoever told me, yeah, we'll get you that. No, you need to be punished for that. Just like, no, bro, we're going to get you a much better orchestra theme. But yeah, to really put in the heat with this feud and not just make it a throwaway, because once they throw this away, what's going to be the threat that Hook has, or what's going to be the next challenge that Jack has? So they really, really need to put a little more focus on this feud. So I think legitimately, one way or another, Jack is going to find a way to destroy that belt, and it's going to piss Hook off even more. And Hook is going to start showing more of that side, showing that he is Taz's son, and the path of destruction is going to come out of him.
Such a good idea. I hadn't thought about that. Like, Hook could win, or maybe even I was thinking Hook could win by DQ, but Jack still retains and does whatever to the belt. But yeah, that's great. I love that.
Man.
Awesome. JB, who you got, man?
Man, this sucks going after Dino. My God, that's a tough one to follow.
You're gonna do
Like the
fine,
rest of
man.
this show? Good God. He is good at this. All right. Yeah. I'm not gonna call that boy Jack. He's Chad Perry now to me. So I think Chad is gonna win, keep the feud going, all for the same reasons that Dino mentioned. Basically just keep the heat going. There's not enough on this. And then to be honest, the TBS championship should have been on this card. I mean, basically after everything that Jade did to build it up, and the gravitas behind her. But that's
You're
neither.
gonna call that. Go ahead.
But that's unfortunately neither here nor there. Yeah, this feud needs a lot. They've been having Hook doing a whole bunch of other things that are not this, and they really need to put a Hook. They need to build this up. They need to build this feud up, and yeah, Chad Perry for the dub to keep this thing going. It's not over.
Chad, that's like the roughest looking Chad I've ever seen. When I think of Chad, I think of a guy with a comb over, and he wears a polo shirt and khakis and designer shoes with no socks and whatnot. But that's a rough looking Chad, man. Chad must have been hitting the X or popping a Molly or something, man. Like, I don't know what's his problem.
Compared to how we used to dress, he's chatted up.
Henny, who you got, man?
Oh man, I'm rolling with Hook. It won't surprise me if Jack Perry retains and they'll retire the FTW belt. You guys may not agree, but Tony Khan can make that decision that day, and everybody in their mama will not say anything because it's AEW. But I'm rolling with Hook on this one. But it won't surprise me if Jack Perry retains.
Hey, why I got a feeling that for some reason when Hook win, you and Giselle, y'all gonna be saying "you're" when he actually wins. I got a good feeling y'all New Yorkers gonna. I mean, I'm a New Yorker too, but I got a good feeling y'all gonna do that.
Nah, not me.
Like you dead ass.
Georgio, who you got for this one, man?
I don't know. I think Hook needs to eventually get away from the FTW title and start going for one of the major big titles. Also he's been kind of absent a little bit as far as the build up leading up to this pay-per-view. I think he should win, but like Dino said, I think Jack Perry should just assault him from behind and just take him out, destroy the FTW belt, and have these two continue. Jack Perry, Hollywood Jack Perry, because he wears the shades. But yeah, I think Hook should win but Jack Perry gets some heat for the FTW belt in the process.
All right. I'm gonna go against my New York culture, and I'm probably gonna lose any street cred that I had, if I had any at all, left. But I'm gonna have to go with Jack Perry now, and here's how he's gonna win. Here's how I think he's gonna win. I think who's Jack Perry dating? Anna Jay. Okay. Now, if memory serves me correctly, the Jericho Appreciation Society has pretty much broken up. I think that's the next thing we're gonna see. We're gonna see the heel couple, Anna Jay and Jack Perry, together in AEW. Both of them thriving on it. I got a feeling both of them are gonna thrive too. This is not gonna be like the Bunny and the Butcher where you're just there. Like I think these two are actually gonna thrive. I think AEW would be missing a big thing if they didn't capitalize on this. But I think Hook is gonna get a lot of offense. I mean, that boy is crazy. But I think Jack Perry's gonna, Anna Jay is gonna cost, she's definitely gonna cost Hook the match, and she's gonna help her man retain that title.
Yeah, I would want to see that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going with for that match. So the next match we have is a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. We got the defending champions FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler going up against the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. Kathy, who we got for this one?
So I had a hard time picking, so I went with the Young Bucks only because of Cash's legal troubles that he's, the real life stuff he's going through. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep the title or not because of that. So that's why I went with the Young Bucks.
Okay. Giselle, how about you?
That's pretty much what I was thinking too. Like, if Cash, wasn't having the current legal troubles, I would have went with FTR. But because of that, I think it's probably going to end up going to Young Bucks. I just wonder like who their next, like if it does go to Young Bucks, like who their next feud will be with.
Best friends. Give the people what they want.
Yes, I would love that. That would be great. I feel so sorry for them, man. Like rooting for best friends is like being a Knicks fan, like keep waiting for them to win, and it's like, come on, man. Yeah, it hurts. I'm a Knicks fan. It hurts, man.
You from the Bronx, aren't you? You live in the Bronx, don't you?
No, I'm from Queens.
Okay, that sounds like something somebody from the Bronx or that sounds like somebody from the Bronx or East New York and Brooklyn would say. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. Heel Maga, who you got for this one, man?
So I was trying to figure out how serious are those charges.
Good question.
Loves FTR.
Great question.
And he could be like, I'll allow it. So, depending on how serious they are. So the quick Google is like a $5,000 fine, and to the other extent is 5 years in prison. So I don't know. So it could be either way. It could be a fine, a drop in the bucket fine, or it could be 5 years. Who knows? But so yeah, but I'm still gonna go with FTR because I don't think they're gonna want real world happenings to impact the expectations of the fans, and I think that's what they're thinking, that everyone's gonna think they're gonna drop them because of the problems. And so I think FTR will retain, and then something will happen later, and they'll have to relinquish or they'll drop them, but they won't lose to the Young Bucks.
Okay. Dino, who you got?
Well, I mean, I think that the legal troubles are definitely going to be in everyone's decision making at some point of the booking. I mean, some good points were brought up to where, yeah, how serious are those charges? Because he wasn't asked to submit his passport or anything else. He's still able to do this, and plus, like, it was done a prior month, so they're just now doing it. But before I heard that, honestly, I thought, I still think that FTR is going to do it. But if it was the case of, like, he needed to take care of some legal troubles, they would have them retain. But then, and everybody knows what happened. Like, they're not gonna hide that from the fans because they know that they're not stupid for that. Have there be some form of, like, match that gives the vacant titles to whomever the Young Bucks are going to face, because the Bucks are going to be there for that straight up. And then if they want to continue this MJF Adam Cole baby feud, have it go for that or something else. Like, there's so many possibilities of it, and that's what's the exciting part of this match. Like, it's not just a rubber match between the two top tag teams that have had just incredible bouts left and right with everyone, including themselves. But, like, to me, I feel this is the most, like, if not the second most unpredictable match of this card. But I got to go with FTR on it.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Two representatives of the backstage brawl. It's the Young Bucks and FTR. FTR are friends with Punk, so are they gonna want to start?
Oh, that's right.
Cash cow, do they want to start teasing that little? Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
They might walk around with the real tag team championships. But before I get to my prediction, I just want to point out that when this thing happened on Twitter, somebody called him FTR hair as opposed to FTR bald. And I was cackling
That killed me.
hard.
It's so good.
So hard.
What is it? They call one of them FTR hair and FTR what?
Bald.
FTR bald.
FTR bald, yeah.
Wow.
FTR bald.
This is crazy. Also,
FTR
Helvetica. They called him Baby Arn Anderson, but it's these predictions say yeah. All right, so I believe that there will be a revival of a championship reign for the Bucks of Youth. Not necessarily because, and I thought this before the legal trouble, but I definitely think it now. And I think that depending on how that goes, will speak volumes about what Tony Khan thinks and how he values Punk's opinion. Like, we already know that, like, he's basically gobbling his glizzy all the time. But
hey, yo,
he gave him his own show. You can't deny that. He's got that shit all over his face.
Exactly. He's allowed to walk around with a championship. All right, man. Anyways, the point is, yeah. I think that the Young Bucks take it. I think it's time for another run for them. It's been long enough. FTR now they have legally something to figure out, and it's not going to stop anything what they do with Punk going forward. So yeah, I think a trios championship should be in their future, but we'll get to that eventually. But yeah.
Okay, Henny Wrestling, who are you going with?
Oh man. This is going to be a tough one, especially with the situation with Cash Wheeler. They're 1-1. The Young Bucks defeat them during the pandemic. FTR got them, I believe, I believe it was last year. They won it. They're tied. I don't know how this is going to end up. I don't know how it's going to look like going forward. But I don't care what nobody say. I'm rolling with FTR. It won't surprise me if Young Bucks wins it tomorrow, but I'm rolling with FTR.
Okay. Georgia, who are you going with? I think you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Control D.
Volume.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, I don't know if it's because there's so many people in this thing or what. My internet normally is working, so I don't know what the hell's going on. But if
Yeah,
I leave, then you'll know why. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't even know which match are we on. I know we was talking about the
we're on.
FTR and Young Bucks match.
You're
Yeah,
still there, buddy.
Oh,
yeah,
well, I'm
yeah.
gonna keep mine brief. I think FTR will win. I think this will be a big win for them at Wembley, and Young Bucks are gonna be fine. They'll win the tag team titles again this year.
Man, this is a hard one to go with, but I think FTR are going to retain. I just got a gut feeling they're going to retain. Um, I don't know how, but I think they're gonna pull it off. The next match we have is going to be a four-way match for the women's AEW Women's World Championship. It's going to be the defending champion Hikaru Shida versus my bad, Tony Storm, versus Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker. Where's the DMD? I thought you were gonna say JB. Come on, I thought you were gonna say.
Nah.
Okay, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
That's how
So
the Coles, baby.
Kathy, I already know who you're probably gonna choose, but go ahead. I'll let you say it anyways.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I know who you're gonna choose.
What gave it away? Okay, so it's not Britt Baker because her name has no S's in it, and it's throwing the alliteration off because you got Sheeta, Saraya, and Storm. So it's not Britt just for that. But so yeah, I'm picking Saraya, of course. But
Of course, you pick your sister. Go ahead.
So I want Sheeta. The thing is, I want Saraya to win. It's her home country, big pop and everything. But I didn't want Sheeta to just be a title holder, a placeholder for Saraya. I do want her to win, like Sheeta to continue to win. But come on, it's Wembley. Saraya's making a comeback. She was never supposed to wrestle again. She had 2 neck surgeries. She gets to wrestle in her home country. Give her the title, Saraya.
All right, Giselle, how about you? Who you got?
So I'm hoping that Sheeta retains. Mainly because I would really hate for her to be a transitional champion as well. I would not be surprised if Saraya won though. Again, because it is like her hometown, home country and everything, and like you never know if this could be like her last run or something with the championship or even just wrestling in general. So if I recall correctly, she hasn't won like a championship since she got back to AEW, or at least not like a singles championship. I don't think. Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I definitely don't see Storm winning, only because I believe she's preparing for a role in the Mildred Burke movie. Yeah, I forgot who she's supposed to be playing, but yeah, she's gonna be in the Mildred Burke movie that's coming out at and yeah, there's like some controversy with that too, so that's a whole nother thing. But and who else is in? Oh, right, Britt. Yeah, I don't see Britt winning. Yeah, so
Okay. All right, Heel Mago, how about you? Who you got?
When I heard the Mildred Burke thing, I seriously thought that was a joke people were making. But yeah, that's. I know people on the outside, like my fiance, she doesn't really watch AEW. She expects Saraya to get the belt. So every time she hears something about All In, she's like, "Oh, is this when Tony gives Saraya her belt? Oh, is this when Tony's getting her belt?" Or is it, it's like it's just expected. Like my fiance, Sandra's just like, Tony loves Saraya. She's definitely getting there. She is. So yeah, she's definitely. So I have to agree. I think this is Saraya's moment where they put the belt on her, and I want Mercedes to tease coming in, just like a video package. It doesn't have to be her actually showing up, but Saraya gets the belt. It lights drop, video package, and we hear "Money, Money, Money" or whatever the song is, and it's Mercedes, teasing a match with Saraya. So that's what I want.
Okay. Dino, how about you? Who you got?
Well, I mean, originally I wanted it to be. It was actually a coin toss between Hikaru Shida and Toni Storm, because Toni Storm really has that character that people are just like, this is new. Like, what is she doing? Like, I've never seen anybody do this before, and it's standing out more. And honestly, I think that the belt itself would just make it up even more. Like, it would really bring that character to life with the whole like Oscar acceptance speech and everything. And if she's really trying to pull like a Sunset Boulevard Gloria Swanson type of character, like, she becomes obsessed with it. And then like if the threat of it, or if she actually loses it, she becomes more enthralled with it and insane with it. And there's really just a lot of mileage that you can get out of it with that. Like Shida, I wanted her to win because, I mean, she's a fantastic champion and an incredible athlete. To which with Saraya, how they pronounce it, I think that the best way for her to have her moment is for her to be so close to winning it, but she doesn't. Because I feel like that, to me personally, that makes her more of a hometown hero. And AEW has definitely shown that you can still be at the top of that performance without succumbing to the conventions of, oh, it's her hometown, let's give her the belt, let's give her the fireworks and everything like that. If anything, it would drive her story home more as to why this means so much to her. But honestly, like, I really feel that this would be a really good end to that chapter. Not so much of her career, but that moment where it would push her to drive even further to become better than what she is. And then maybe you bring in Mercedes to have that championship match, or that match in general, a big build match without the belt there, while elevating the younger talent. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with Toni Storm on this one, mainly because I feel like it would do a lot of good for this new character. And, Shida, it would be seen as a transitional champion, but at the same time, she's facing 3 other opponents. So it's not necessarily like, okay, just hand the belt over. It looks more good on paper. Like, there was 3 against her, and she held on as much as she could.
Okay. JB, how about you? Who you got?
Saraya would be a sentimental pick considering the home country, as everybody has stated, and Kathy's so wearing a shirt but not wearing a shirt, but whatever. It will be easy to say her, but I think Shida retains. I think this is the comeback tour for her. She's been through a lot with the Outcasts, and she finally got that moment of comeuppance against her, and it will be a shame to see it go to the wayside so soon when you could do so many other things with that division. And there's that talent. That division is so deep. It is so talented, and they haven't even scratched the surface of how many competitors there are that need an opportunity, that need a chance. I think Saraya should look strong. I think you tease her winning, but I don't think it's time for her, especially with her history, with her neck. You don't know what her availability is or what her injuries is. Like, do you want to put her in a position to be a champion and you don't know what's going to happen? But if she was healthy, totally before. But yeah, she'd come back to her. Her championship reign was mostly in front of just people on screens and behind like screens, physical screens and TV screens. So yeah, I think this is the run that she deserves. I think she needs to have that. So yeah, Sheeta retains.
Okay. Henny Wrestling, how about you? Who you going with?
This is very. It's between Sheeta and Saraya. You can eliminate DMD. You can eliminate discount Marilyn Monroe. It's between Saraya and Sheeta. And as much as I like Sheeta, I'm gonna roll with Saraya. I feel like with this win, she's gonna get the biggest pop in her career. So it could go either way, but I'm rolling with Saraya becoming the new AEW Women's Champion.
Okay. Georgia, how about you? Who you got? Georgia? Does he hear us?
Might have a delay, possibly.
You know what? I think Sheeta should retain. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I don't know what's going on with the internet tonight. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's just a big delay. That's all. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep mine brief. Yeah, I think Sheeta should retain because I would hate for her to win the title. She only had it maybe a month or two, so I think Sheeta. Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Honestly, I think Saraya is gonna win this.
Oh, man.
I think Saraya is gonna.
If not, I'll have to just exit out.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
I'm gonna exit out.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Saraya for this one. I think Saraya is gonna win this. It would be great if she got the title, in her hometown. But I got a feeling she's gonna win this, and I got a feeling it's gonna be interesting. But I got a feeling she's gonna win this one. The next match we have is a coffin match. This one's going to be another crazy one. We have Darby Allin and Sting going up against Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage with Prince Nana and Luchasaurus at ringside. Kathy, you got for this one?
So going back to the other one, I forgot to say. So I think if Sheeta wins, it would probably be because Tony Storm and Saraya they got off the same page. Something happens, and then Sheeta would end up retaining there. There would be like not so much dissension in Outcast, but like something weird and crazy might happen, and that's probably why Sheeta would win. But so this coffin match, I think AR Fox might have something to do with the whole Swerve Strickland thing, because you don't just get fired and be like, okay, I got fired, woohoo. So he might get involved, do something, and it's a coffin match. You can't have Darby lose a coffin match, so I'm going with Sting and Darby.
Okay. Giselle, how about you? Who you got?
This one was tough for me, because I was thinking that it could go either way. But I'm leaning towards that Sting and Darby will likely win, I feel. Because I guess it's going back to like kind of like a seniority kind of thing with Sting being in the business so long. It would be like another like huge moment for him, as he's probably starting to dwindle down on maybe eventually looking to retire, and maybe like within at least next 10 years or something like that. But yeah, I'm leaning towards them. I think I have a feeling or like that there's a possibility that AR Fox is still in cahoots with Mogul Embassy. And like they did this as a a switch to like kind of mess with Darby and Nick Wayne and such. So I could see it being possibly whereas like you thought I was you thought I was I lost my way, but I still with Mogul Embassy and stuff, like but yeah, something like that. But if not, if in the case that it is that he's no longer with Mogul Embassy, I do think he would interfere in some way and help Darby and Sting. Oh, I forgot to do the thing. It's Sting. Yeah, I'm thinking Sting and Darby. Or something else I was gonna mention. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, Sting and Darby. I'm thinking.
So you're saying Swerve might pull a Swerve?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Heel Mago, how about you? Who are you going with?
This is actually one I can't predict. A lot has. There's such low stakes. It's such a low stakes match that anyone could win this. Shoot, man, I'm just gonna say Swerve because I think they've got more stuff up their sleeve. I think the AR Fox thing is not permanent. I think that's like a ploy because of just bureaucratic reasons. AR Fox couldn't do something, so they gotta make sure not to be there, but it'll work out later. And yeah, I think Swerve's gonna pull something out of his sleeve there.
Okay, Dino, who you got?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Maggle. There's really low stakes in this contest. There's not anything to lose or gain. It's pretty much anyone's match. But I mean, just for yay's sake, I'm gonna say Darby and Sting. I mean, from what I've heard, the reason that AR is out is because he just didn't have a passport. And with wrestling, especially, they're just you could really. It's important to have a passport always, but wrestling in general, especially because you can literally just be told, "Hey, we're going to England in a week. You have to get your passport ready." I don't have a passport because, it's not really something that you're really put into thought because you're mostly working the States and everything. But as painful as it was to see Fox and Swerve split, I'm upset that it might be just I was kidding, I'm back in there, because I'm just like, dude, just have Sting hit him with a bat or have him get taken out.
Yeah,
like that, not just hey, we're just joking. I got you. It's terrible because I wanted that team to win. Literally tag team titles. I'm like, I want this. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with Sting and Darby because it just makes the most sense.
Okay, Henny, who you got for this one?
Okay. So, now this is the easy one. I'm just trying to process all this because Sting wrestling in London is huge. I don't know if he's done it in his young, when he was young. I don't know if he's done it before.
No,
but
he hasn't.
He hasn't. All right. So for him to wrestle in London in the biggest crowd in pro wrestling history, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. That's huge, especially in England. That's huge, and I'm pretty sure people who's gonna go there never thought in a million years they'll see Sting wrestle live and in person. So with that, I'm rolling with Sting and Darby Allin to win this and make the London fans happy and have their inner kid moment during the match and before the match and after the match and all that good stuff. So I'm rolling with Darby and Sting on this one.
Okay. JB, who are you rolling? Who you going with?
Question for the collective: has Sting lost since he's been in AEW?
Not to my knowledge.
He hasn't taken the pin, I don't think, but I think there have been L's on the record, but not because of him, I don't think, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think it's basically like lost by association. Yeah.
Yeah. This is gonna be another one. Because Swerve is definitely gonna take this one. This character has been on another level, like in recent times, and he needs a bigger stage, a bigger platform, and a bigger stage with more high-profile wins to kind of keep the momentum he has going. He's bigger than this. Darby and Sting will survive losing this feud with them, but yeah, I got Swerve and them taking the dub here. Swerve is a main event player. He's definitely got he's been acting like he has a chip on his shoulder, like in recent times. Like he's been putting on some of that main event weight. So yeah, I think he goes on to bigger and better things.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, I think honestly, I think I'm gonna go with I think Darby Allin and Sting. They're definitely gonna get this win. I got a feeling it's Swerve has done the most, and I think this is gonna be it. I mean, it would be nice if he got the win. It'd be nice if Swerve got the win on Sting, but yeah, I think Sting and Darby are gonna take this. So I'm gonna do something I don't normally do as a bit unconventional. So I know Dino and Heel Mago, y'all got something going on. So I'm gonna just for you guys, I'm just gonna go down the rest of the card real quick, and I just ask you who you think is gonna win, and just because I wouldn't want you guys to leave without giving you, it just wouldn't seem right. So I'm gonna go down the rest of the card just for you guys, and just ask y'all, who y'all think is gonna win, and then y'all can actually go ahead and take care of business afterwards. So the next match we have Golden Elite. So let me call the guys Golden Lovers. Golden Elite versus the I guess you'd call them, I don't know what you call this, Konosuke Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold. Who y'all got?
That's the one that I'm still flipping a coin on because it's just going to be fun. It's really just going to be a fun match. So many fast, hard-hitting spots and everything. Honestly, I think strictly just for the excitement purposes, it's going to be Golden. I keep thinking Lovers as well. It's weird saying Golden Elite. Golden Lovers with Golden Hangman Lovers. I don't know. So.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I think I think Takeshita and Bullet Club actually. They're just gonna be just a little bit more dirty than the Golden Elite Lovers.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, so the next match we have Stadium Stampede match. We have Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, the best friends on one side versus and Pentel Cero Miedo versus the Blackpool Combat Club, which is John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and two guys I could not see William Regal working with, but hey, what do I know? Santana and Ortiz. Who do y'all have?
I'm gonna go with the Blackpool Combat Club. Honestly, the opposing team is just so ragtag that I think that if it makes sense for them to lose because that'll fuel Eddie Kingston even more to just become this force of nature more than he already is. I don't know if you saw his promo today where he's like, where is he? Cameraman, where'd he go? And he's just threatening to end lives. Why would you want
that was wild.
to have him win just to I'm not this ain't over, something like that. It really makes more sense for him to just get more and more mad about this, because when you got something like that, Eddie Kingston can literally spit gold into anything, but this building up of he's he keeps coming up short and Claudio keeps dogging him, dodging him, and everything else, that it's going to make the moment to get to for return match for the Ring of Honor title, that it's going to make it even more just so poor, so succulent. Like it's got to get ripe. And so, yeah, I got to go with Blackpool Combat Club on this one.
Man, if Eddie keeps it into your top 3 speakers in wrestling, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, agree. I can't disagree with that. The other team's just too thrown together. It's too ragtag. They can't coexist as they like to use too often.
So the next match we have for y'all is a singles match. Will Ospreay with Don Callis versus Chris Jericho.
Oh wow, this is going to be interesting.
You go first. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be Ospreay carrying Jericho that entire time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Jericho might be calling some spots, but Ospreay's going to be doing all the work. So yeah, I think Ospreay goes over just because of all the points that they made in the promos. This is just another reason for Jericho to play Wembley, and this is Ospreay's this is his livelihood. This is I've made it to Wembley. I just want to play Wembley,
Okay.
I really think that Jericho's just be like, I'm blown up. I put too much into the performance. Like, I need you to carry me, baby. Shit like that. And so, once I heard that he's getting signed, I'm like, why? And then I heard Chris Jericho's going to sing his theme song. I'm like, of course he's going to sing his theme song. Like, what else is he going to do?
Right, that's going to be his entrance.
He's going to perform it with it. And Fosse played Wembley Stadium, baby! Yeah! Like, yeah, but it was your entrance. Like, you didn't really,
He's going to gobble his own glizzy.
Exactly.
See what happens? You see what happens?
Exactly.
Drinking his own bubbly.
So the next match we have on the card is CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, a singles match for the Real World Championship. Okay.
Speaking of gobbling glizzies again,
I'm just gonna tell you this right now. I have no prediction for this. As somebody who I was a student when Ring of Honor was formed and everything. And so to me, this is nostalgia. This is me just saying like, damn, I watched a bad VHS, like bad quality VHS of these dudes working. And I'm like, man, I hope I get to meet them one day. And I've crossed paths with them. And so seeing this now, like they're in front of like 80,000 plus people. Like this is surreal. This is bittersweet. So whatever happens, I'm just going to enjoy it. I have no prediction for this.
Yes, this is a historic match. It's historic. Just on paper, they didn't even need a build. Just because if you're an indie fan, you know the history. And like it's very hard to predict because if you've been watching Collision, Punk has been making it seem like he's got the upper hand, but Joe is just that rugged and can't be stopped. And so I don't know, man. I want Samoa Joe to win, but knowing CM Punk, I don't know. He might put himself over, and Joe might be okay with that. So yeah, I want Joe to win.
So the next match we have is a 6-man tag team chat for the AEW World Trios Championship. It's going to be the House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King defending against Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed. Who y'all going with?
I freaking love the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. I freaking love them. It's hard to see them winning over House of Black, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. It's like just because I love them, it's a losing bet, but that's the money I got.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to really say like, oh, they beat them. Okay, it's a happy ending and everything else for that, but like, I really want House of Black to win. Like, they've been such a solid force with those titles, and it's really been like the mainstay of the program that they're on. Like, they legitimately have people excited to see what else they can do and who else they're going to face off against for it. So, like, I want House of Black to win, but honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, the Acclaimed and the badass Billy Gunn, not Daddy Ass. Daddy Ass is gone. It's badass Billy Gunn now. It's a whole different ass, different cheeks.
That's why his ass is flat now.
Exactly. He's a flat ass. Bam, bam, look at all I don't got. You know, you got to show love for the one Billy Gunn thing. That's as good as ass, man.
The one ass crack.
Yeah, it did kind of deflate over the years, didn't it? That's too bad.
The squats became more difficult with the back front.
I'm an ass man.
That's the only thing he has lost.
Does he actually? The Famouser does nothing these days.
But man, he still looks great. He still looks
There's no
great.
ass. You just call it the Famer.
It looks amazing.
The coxer. The long backer.
The irony board.
So the next match we have is the last match, the main event probably, the singles match for the AEW World Championship, MJF versus Adam Cole.
Baby.
There you go. Heel Maggle and Dino, who y'all got?
I'll let you go first, Dino.
All right, we're definitely going to see some emotional back and forths. There's going to be the diamond ring coming out into play. That's a definite right then and there. But I strongly believe that no matter what happens, MJF is not going to cheat. He is going to try to do it on the fair and square. I mean, this guy is probably on the biggest run of being a huge babyface turn after what many would seem as irredeemable. And so for him to have that type of betrayal or even just that struggle, like let's say there is no betrayal and it's just him constantly trying to be a better person than what he was, it's going to bite him in the ass at this particular main event. And if he loses, like he has no choice but to show it. And like you did a good job, you know, if the better man won, whatever, you know, I really want that to happen for him. So, like, I don't want the predictability of Adam Cole, baby, turning him that night. But like, I'm a sucker for really good emotional struggling, for character building, and you know, the long form storytelling. I think that this has so much potential to do that. And you know, who says that it has to end that night? You literally can have it to be where he is looking at Adam Cole, baby, as the champion. And just like staring at him, like, is that look of envy? Is that look of I can beat him? I could have beat him. I just needed to, you know, it's that beautiful moment that hopefully the camera crew catches, because wrestling, like, because let me tell you, American camera crews, they need a lot of work. Man, I will say that right now. Like, we need that emotional capture.
Yeah.
And with these two building up this friendship, literally, it feels like it's a bond that we don't want it to be broken, but it's going to be broken. So let's stretch it out to see how, you know, when it does break, when it eventually does, and it will, you're just like, oh, like, I want that heartbreak. I want that pain.
You know, the only tag team, I'm just going to say right now before you guys go, but before the only tag team I can see, only tag team partner I can see for MJF is a man by the name of Most Marketable Richard Holiday. That is the only person I can see teaming with MJF. And if y'all watched MLW, which I think most people in this room have actually watched on MLW, you see that they have that chemistry, they have that camaraderie. So that's the only person I can see MJF teaming with. And he's a free agent.
Yeah, Holiday.
He's a free agent, so yeah.
This whole storyline has been remarkable. I didn't think AEW could pull it off, to have a pure babyface main event like this. That's difficult to keep this story interesting just with a friendship. Basically, that's what they've done, and it's remarkable. It's some very good storytelling. and I don't think they want to throw that away, actually. So, like, I don't think. When was the last time you had a main title feud between two baby faces where it wasn't anger between it was like a camaraderie? I don't think it's ever not on the main like majors. Like I don't think it's ever maybe on the indies. It sounds like a Chikara thing, to be honest with you. You know, like
if I want to think, the closest thing I can think of is Neville and Sami Zayn in NXT.
yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, you're right. That's the closest thing. And so yeah, I don't think they want to throw that away because what they've done is remarkable and it's very impressive. Just writing wise, story wise, and character wise. To have the irredeemable heel MJF actually be a convincing face and to have this ambiguous character Adam Cole to continuously string us along, will he, won't he? Like this is very good. It's very good. It's not Bloodline, but it is very good. And so I don't think they want to throw it away. So I think MJF stays face. I think Adam Cole stays face. I think Roddy interferes, and that's what happens. Adam Cole, I don't know if he might win because of Roddy, and that will make MJF question the friendship. Did that happen? And I think it'll either split MJF and Adam Cole, but MJF stays face, or it could either split up Roddy and Adam Cole, which I think is more likely is that Roddy starts going with the Kingdom again, and it's the Kingdom attacks, and you solidify the tag team, MJF and Adam Cole. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Roddy interferes, you solidify that friendship. MJF retains just based on DQ, basically. No winner.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I just gotta say, thank you for your time. I know you guys gotta run and whatnot.
I apologize.
It's all good. Before y'all leave, I just gotta say once again, thank you. Dino will be looking to have you on the show because we're gonna talk about your time in wrestling and whatnot, about Howdy Price and whatnot. But before we let y'all go, where can fans find y'all on social media when they want to talk wrestling and all that good stuff?
All right. Well, you can find me at Howdy Price DW on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm also at Dizzlewizzle983 on Instagram, as well as my roommate. Come say howdy. Just put an underscore in between each word, and you'll find either one of us.
Awesome.
I am Heel Maggle everywhere, just as you see it on screen.
You're easy to deal with, not me. So.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. And like I said, we'll definitely, be looking forward to hearing from y'all again and all that good stuff.
Thank you all so much for having us. You have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, you guys have great fun.
All right. So we're gonna go. All right. So wow. Then there were 4. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make this quick because I know y'all. It's been an hour and whatnot, and I don't want to keep everybody up, especially over on the East Coast. But okay. So here we go. So real quick, let me see. Where's that card again? I just had it up here. Okay. So real quick around the room. So we have we left off at okay. So 6-man tag team action. We have the Golden Elite and versus which is Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page versus Konosuke Takeshita and the Bullet Club Gold, which is Juice Robinson and Jay White. Kathy, who you got?
Golden Elite because they win everything.
Okay. Giselle, how about you? Who you got?
I'm thinking Golden Elite as well. The The other guys, I honestly, I would think they could use the win more, but the Elite always seem to win. So, yeah.
Okay. JB, how about you? Who you got?
I'm going Golden Bullet Club.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Golden Elite. Although there will be some experience, I got a feeling there's gonna be some interference from the Gun Club, which is Austin and I forgot what the other guy's name is. Austin Gunn and I forgot the other guy, but Colton, yeah. But I think the Golden Elite, they're definitely gonna pull this one off and they're gonna win. I don't see Bullet Club going to but I am looking forward to Takeshi and Kota Ibushi actually trading shots. That Takeshi's definitely gonna learn today, courtesy of Kota Ibushi.
Especially so the next God mode.
Yeah. So the next match we have is a Stadium Stampede match. It's going to be Eddie Kingston, once again, Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends, and Penta El Zero Miedo versus the Blackpool Combat Club, which is, like I said before, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Santana and Ortiz. And I would shudder to think if William Regal was still here, I don't think he would work with those two, but I could be wrong. But Kathy, who you got?
Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing Santana and Ortiz on the other side of Eddie Kingston. But this one's gonna be crazy. Like, everybody involved is just crazy. And but having said that, I'm gonna go with the Blackpool Combat Club, Santana and Ortiz.
Okay. Giselle, how about you? Who you got?
So this is the match I'm looking the most forward to, personally. As you can probably tell, I'm a massive Orange Cassidy fan. So I against my better judgment, I can't root against him or Best Friends. So I am hoping that they will win. Most likely Blackpool Combat Club will win, but I can't in good conscience root against them. So
understandable. JB, how about you? Who you got?
I mean, who doesn't love a good BCC, right? But yeah, going with Blackpool Combat Club. I think they benefit from the most. And to basically go back what Dino said, man, he's good at this. He's basically in my mind. I hated that. But yeah, that itch of Eddie Kingston, the Santana Ortiz betrayal, the Claudio like dodging, and the mocks of it all. Just, I feel like that's the bigger story in play. I think that's the bigger thing. That's the bigger payoff down the line. And if you want to pay that off and feed into that storyline, you got to have Blackpool go over.
Okay, awesome. I honestly think that I'm gonna have to go to Blackpool Combat Club, but I think this is gonna be the beginning of Eddie Kingston like becoming a different person once again. And it's not going to fare well. I think the first two people that are going to get it are Santana or Ortiz. He's going to beat the stuffing out of those guys. If not this match, definitely after the match. They definitely going to learn. And yeah, it's definitely going to be
stiff as hell.
It's going to be Blackpool Combat Club. To me, they're more organized, and you have a ragtag team. I don't see Eddie Kingston and them winning, but this is going to be fun to watch. The next match we have is going to be a singles match. It's going to be Will Ospreay with Don Callis versus Chris Jericho. Kathy, who we got for this one?
So I had a hard time picking, but I ended up circling Jericho. He does have, like they said, he's going to perform with Fozzy. So, I mean, you kind of can't give him that and then have him lose. So that's why I went with Jericho.
Okay. Giselle, who you got?
I think I'm gonna go with Ospreay on this one. Because I was initially thinking Jericho, but then I also recall other times when sometimes like the so-called bigger stars will get like these grandiose entrances, and then they end up losing still, which is wild to me. But I think Will Ospreay wants it more and honestly like needs it more because his career is still on an upward trajectory, right? So, I think Will Ospreay will pull it off.
Okay. JB, how about you? Who you got?
The win for Jericho is him playing in Wembley. Like after he gets through sucking himself off, he's gonna lose. Why? Because Will Ospreay legitimately is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like legitimately. And just like Joe just said, his career is still on the upward swing. Like we haven't seen the best of Will Ospreay as a performer, like in here or in Japan. And I think he said his contract's expiring pretty soon. So where he goes, if he stays, if he leaves, I think he leaves. But yeah, Will Ospreay is legitimately one of the best wrestlers in the world. There's no reason for him to lose to Chris Jericho. Like, I don't care if it's in Wembley. I don't care if it's in your backyard. I don't care if it's in a sink somewhere. There's no reason for that. A loss for Jericho does nothing. Like, it doesn't harm him. He's still Chris Jericho. For Will Ospreay, he gets to do the thing he said he did. Beat Okada, Jericho, and Omega in a short amount of time. And nobody else has been able to say that. Nobody else will be able to will. Ospreay gets the dub, and he goes on to something bigger. He's a star. Like, come on, bruv.
Yeah, he is. He is. So honestly, I think this is going to be a hell of a match. This is going to be another classic, man. But honestly, I think I'm gonna go with Chris Jericho. I got a feeling, but people are gonna put. There's gonna be some respect put on his name, and this is gonna be the part where people see that yes, Will Ospreay is ready for the big time, and he is definitely gonna be that guy to become a future AEW World Champion eventually. There's no denying it, and quite frankly, I gotta say I've followed his career since New Japan, and I'm glad that he's actually changed up from being the guy that does all the crazy high flying moves to now he's becoming a bit more grounded. He still does the high flying, but he's becoming a bit more grounded, and in wrestling you got to evolve. So I see great things for this guy. But I think Chris Jericho is going to pull it off this time. The next match we have is a singles match for the real world champion. Okay, all right, whatever they want to call it, real world championship, and it's going to be once again CM Punk versus who's the defending champion, defending against Samoa Joe. Kathy, who you got?
So, I put CM Punk because he went through all this trouble. He put his X on his title and the real title, and he can't. He's been having Joe's number. He ended up winning. They have a history in Ring of Honor. He couldn't beat Joe. He finally beat Joe, and then he was in a mask, and he came out and he beat up Joe. He got the upper hand on Joe again. So I guess third time's the charm, and I'm gonna go with CM Punk.
Okay, Giselle, who you got?
I wanted to go with Samoa Joe, but I don't know. I just don't see Punk losing this one in like such a huge venue. I feel like it will come down to one of those decisions where like Tony Khan will try to do what he thinks will make the crowd pop more, and I feel like they'll likely pop more if CM Punk wins. So I'm thinking CM Punk.
Okay. JB, who you got?
Before I get to CM Punk doubling himself up, one thing I forgot to mention about the last match, Jericho and Ospreay, I think Sammy turns on Chris.
Okay.
I think, let me just toss that in there.
Yeah,
but
I can see that.
But yeah, of course CM Punk is going to win. There's no reason for him to lose his quote-unquote real championship. He's on the collision course with MJF to kind of close out that story. That's what they were doing building up to before he got hurt / suspended, and that's where the road eventually leads to. So yeah, I don't see Punk losing, especially not like the big name show, and he's clearly got the favor of Tony Khan. So if he's not snoring lines, he's doing never. I'm gonna shut up. But yeah, Punk.
All right. So
anyway,
I'm gonna go with CM Punk. CM Punk's gonna win. I don't see it. And CM Punk is not. Yeah, CM Punk has Tony Khan's favor, and but so do the Elite. So it's like, huh?
Do they? Because if I help start a company, if this company is part of my brainchild, and somebody else comes in and they punch me in the face, and you opt to keep them and their homeboy, and you back pay their homeboy, you know what?
Yeah, but you and I both know that if the Elite leaves AEW, they're done. They lost Cody already. If
You
they lose the Elite, it's a wrap.
But that's
It's
not a
done.
favorite thing. That's politics.
And they're not even. They have, and the funny thing is, they have an ace in their hand, but they're not even using him. Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's a great promoter, but they're not even using him that much. So I mean, if they lose the Elite, they gotta do. They better find themselves quickly. But yeah, I'm gonna go with CM Punk for this one. The next match we have a six-man tag team match for the AEW World Trios Championship. House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King with Julia Hart versus Billy and the Acclaimed. Kathy, who you got for this one?
So every time there's a House of Black match, I always get it wrong, or I think I'm like 1-1. So I picked the House of Black this time, but my heart wants to go with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. I think. See, that's the thing I don't know. Like, so Billy Gunn was supposed to be retired. He had put his boots and everything, and then he comes back for this match. Is this his like, one and done big? Hey, I did it. Like I went to England. Or does he get the title with the Acclaimed and continue his run as a wrestler? So that's where I was kind of going back and forth. But this time I'll pick House of Black.
Okay.
Like that.
Just how about you?
Yeah, I was kind of having that same issue where like I, would love if if this if this were to end up being Billy Gunn's like swan song, I guess, and this is like the way he's gonna go out with winning, not winning the championship. So like my brain is leaning towards House of Black, and I'm not sure like how. Like where the storyline would go for House of Black themselves after that, but if the Acclaim do win, I'm hoping that they'll get a decent run again with the titles, or get a decent run with the titles, and and then Billy Gunn can retire quietly or whatever he intends to do, but I feel like it's probably gonna be House of Black. So
okay,
I'm still on the fence.
JB, how about you? Who you got?
This is 110% Billy Gunn's last match. But a wrestling career that spanned at least 3 different decades. This is the biggest show in wrestling history until next April. So yeah, it makes perfect sense that this is his swan song. That this is where he leaves his boots in the ring for real. House of Black has been on a roll as well. There's no reason for them to stop what they're doing now. So yeah, House of Black.
Okay. Honestly, I think I'm gonna go with House of Black, but it's gonna be a heck of a fight. House of Black, they're gonna retain. I don't see them losing that real soon. The next match we have is the last match, singles match for the AEW World Championship. It's gonna be MJF, the defending champion, going up against Adam Cole.
Baby.
There you go. Kathy, who you got?
So this storyline is so good. Like like anything with MJF, I'm just like glued to the TV because it's so good. This has so many layers to it. So like we talked about, what's gonna happen in their tag team match. That'll kind of almost determine what's gonna happen in the main event. My thing is, I saw this tweet. They said like when Adam hugs and he does this, it's kind of like he's stabbing somebody in the back because he did it before in NXT. So will Adam turn heel? That hug. MJF is still the devil. You know, he's our scumbag now. That's his, his baby face, persona. But he's still the devil. Will he turn back to heel? There's so many layers, so many things going on. But in the end, I'm gonna pick MJF because I still want him to be champion. It's just too good.
Okay. Just who you got?
I was initially thinking it might have been Adam Cole,
Baby.
but I started thinking more about it, and I think it might be MJF mainly to possibly have like a rematch down the road between him and CM Punk, and a possible unification of the title. But he's calling it a real title. I don't know if they intend to do like what they do in Raw and SmackDown and have separate titles or whatever. But I think it might be more likely that they'll be unifying the title and trying to maybe attempt some long-term storytelling for a change, and kind of like head that direction. So I'm thinking possibly MJF. I don't think Adam Cole will turn just yet, but I do think if someone does turn, it might be more likely to be Adam Cole. I was also I was also playing with the idea of I think Maggle was the one that said it, that I could definitely see Roderick Strong interfering in some way, and maybe he's the one that turns heel, and just like a jealous ex kind of thing going on, where he's just like trying to, I guess, get revenge, thinking that he has no time for him anymore and stuff like that. So this could really go a lot of ways, but I'm thinking MJF will probably be triumphant.
Okay. JB, who you got?
Who's ready for prediction time with JB versus the world, baby?
Go ahead, man.
All right. This has been like the story that I never knew I needed in wrestling. Like, just the most unlikeliest of things. Because initially, when this whole thing started, I was like, this is just MJF and Chris Jericho all over again. But this has just turned into like the best shit ever for wrestling this year. And this is not over. I think they're going to let this run a little bit longer. I don't foresee the turn yet, but what I do foresee is that the outcome of this match leading towards MJF being worse down the line because he feels slighted when it actually isn't his fault, which goes into what I think happens in the outcome. I think he wins, but I think Roderick Strong gets involved, and it makes him think that Adam and Roddy like colluded on him, or it was a thing that went wrong, or that this is something, but whatever. We know that MJF and Punk, that's destined to be. But I think the story here, the main story, but when it comes to the friendship, is the hurt feelings and the feeling slighted. Since we've been on live here, as of this recording, MJF tweeted about an hour ago about how much Adam Cole means to him as a friend and how this moment means to him. Like, he is emotionally invested. This is the most emotionally vulnerable he's been as a performer with us ever. So that dark turn, is going to be chef's kiss when it finally happens. But it starts with the win over Adam Cole as his tag team partner.
So, man, I'm who do I go with? I'm gonna have to say MJF is gonna pull it off. Adam Cole, yeah, and then I think eventually Adam Cole's MJF is gonna win. Adam Cole is actually MJF is gonna win, and then Adam Cole is gonna actually turn on him. And I think he's actually gonna rejoin the Kingdom, which would be pretty cool because the Kingdom was that team back in the day. However, this is going to end up being the Kingdom versus, I'm going to call it right now. And I know I've had some wild predictions. Kathy, you've heard me with some of my wild predictions. Some have came through. 2% have came through. 98% have not. But hey, one could dream. But I'm going to go with the most marketable Richard Holiday down the line in the near future is going to help MJF against the Kingdom. It's going to happen. And, Richard Holiday, if y'all haven't seen Richard Holiday, he's pretty much like MJF's kind of like clone. And they were buddies back in MLW. They were attacked. They were in a whole stable with another guy called Hammerstone. And those guys definitely have that chemistry. So I honestly think they're gonna sign him and he's gonna team up with MJF again. So that's pretty much my prediction for that. That's the only tag team partner I can see MJF having. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go around the room. Does anybody have any further predictions for the card? Like what might happen, who might return, what alliances may form, what alliances may break up?
I got one for like all the way out of left field. I mean, like super out of left field. I don't even expect this to happen, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. Jamie Hayter calls Britt Baker.
Okay. Kathy, Giselle,
I know she's far from ready, but it would be a shame if she didn't make an appearance.
All right.
I can't really think of anything or like anyone necessarily that could show up, but it could definitely be anybody. But it would be nice if Jade Cargill came back. That would be nice. I don't think she is though. Yeah, it's probably too early for her to come back, but yeah.
She posted up a picture yesterday. She's off somewhere. She is living her best life right now.
Oh man, yeah, and she's like the owner of a team or something now, right? Or like a baseball team or something. Yeah.
If her husband is like a former player.
Yeah.
I would be surprised. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she never came back.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, as much as it hurts to think that, I wouldn't be surprised at that either, honestly.
Well, with that being said, if she comes back, welcome back. If she doesn't come back, thank you for all the matches and memories you gave us. Yeah. All the best. I always say, they should do what they want to do. Do what's best for them. I wouldn't want. I mean, yes, it'll be great to see them, but me as a fan, I'd rather they come back with a great mental space, as opposed to them coming back not 50%, not 100% in it, giving us a lackluster performance, not being the same person. No, I mean, if she wants to ride out on on the high road, more power to her. That's the best way to go out. It's all good.
And I still got my fingers crossed for an eventual Jade versus Bianca match.
That would be so nice.
That would be the best.
Shoot, I got my fingers crossed for a Bianca and Naomi tag team. That's what I got. I still got my fingers crossed.
Yeah,
that would give me life.
They missed out. They missed a. I don't know if I was the only one that saw it, but when I saw them in that battle royal, and they were actually the Royal Rumble. And they were fighting each other. They were close to being eliminated. Yeah. And they worked together to get back into that ring. I was like, that should be a tag team right there.
Right.
And plus, that would be great for the Black community, because you got two women that are educated that you can look up to, that are not acting all ghetto and ratchet, and they're classy. They're not all out there and like Sexy Red and Sukihana. I just saw a rap video with them, and I'm like, I don't want to listen to rap no more because of them two. But luckily there's Megan Thee Stallion, so that makes up for that. But you have two women that are positive models, role models for, not just, black girls, but girls in general, because I'm sure there's others in other communities that actually, that actually look up to them and be like, hey, I want to do it like Bianca or Naomi or Jade. So I think that would have been a great tag team if you ask me. Yeah, but yeah. So but hey, you never know, man. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But with that being said, that's the end of the card. It's gonna be tomorrow. For those of y'all listening and watching, Jobber Tears is hosting a AEW watch party. For those of y'all that are listening and watching that are in New York and the New Jersey area, if you can make the trip, they're going to be hosting a AEW watch party, All In watch party tomorrow at Legends. I believe it's going AEW. It starts at 12, right? The pay-per-view. So they're probably gonna have the doors are gonna open like at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So if you can make it down there, definitely make it down there. It's a great time. I've been there before. I'm not gonna make it tomorrow because I gotta work at that time. But if you could definitely, make your way down there and enjoy some food, some drinks, and of course some wrestling, and meet wrestling fans as well too. It's always great to network when you go to those places as well too. But with that being said, JB, Giselle, thank you very much. I know it is 1 o'clock, but I just gotta thank both of y'all for taking time out of your schedules to be on our show. Also, thank you to Georgio and Henny Wrestling. I guess they dropped off, technical difficulties. If you guys see this, thank you as well, and also to Heel Mago and Dino Winwood as well. Thank you guys as well. Before we shut this show down, where can fans find you, Giselle and JB? Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling? Giselle, where can fans find you when they want to check out your art, get a commission done as well? Because you do some great artwork as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, on Twitter, I am at eccentricgb. On pretty much everything else, I'm Funky Punk NYC. The only different one is on Instagram. It's Funky Punk NYC _art. So there's a little difference with that one, but I also stream on Twitch. So I love talking wrestling on Twitch, and I do art on there, and I play games and stuff, kind of like a chaotic stream and stuff. So and interactive. So yeah, come feel free to.
We got a lot of gamers on here, man. Yeah. I'll tell you, JB and Georgia, I should form a little black gaming crew and whatnot, and just do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a vibe. Yeah.
You could put in Kathy too, because Kathy's one of the people you'd invite to a cookout anyway. She's like, yeah. I see you over there watching BET and Medea and stuff. Yeah, I know. I think I'll see you. Yeah. JB, how about you, man? Where you on social media? Where can fans find you when they want to, talk wrestling and, see your gaming channel and everything and so on?
All right, you can find me at JB versus the World. Has it spelled out on my name card right over there. That my fingers off. Okay, whatever. You see it right there. JB versus the World. You spell it all out like a Tribe Called Quest. You smush it all together like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Now you can find me there on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can find me on Twitter at JBV the World, because verse was just too long for it. I have my central hub at jbversustheworld.com. Because of the writer strike, I have taken a step away from doing reviews. I'm reworking my content to better reflect those values and support of the writers going forward. So I'm working on that. But in the meantime, in between time, I still have interviews with Power Rangers and voice actors from Momocon and Ranger stuff over the last few weeks, or last couple of months rather, that I have. And Dragon Con is next week in Atlanta, so I'll be getting some good content there too. So look out for all that.
JB, if you write a script and you need you have a part for a tough big guy that doesn't speak much, or a comic relief, let me know. I'll definitely. You ain't gotta pay me that much. I'll work for some food or something. Something from maybe some peach cobbler or something, man. Just let me know, because this man be doing some really impressive stuff, man. You on your way. But definitely thanks to both of y'all. Keep up the great
do you
work.
ever need more voices? I'm trying to get in the voice acting business, but yeah, just wondering.
I know people who need voice actors, like for audiobooks and stuff, but my stuff is not ready yet.
Gotcha.
I'm actually going to go to Twitch in the next month or so, and start doing writing sprints on there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you already got one. If you need another one, or if you want like a West Indian character, I still got my Guyanese accent. But hey, by JB Guyana Bana. Hey, I come here to do the thing for you. Yeah?
I got you guys for sure. And I'll definitely follow you on Twitter soon.
Yeah, I'll follow you guys back, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
if you want somebody that sounds like a child, but you could always have Kathy over here, because people don't believe that she's actually. I'm not going to put her business out there. People think she's 25, and when I first met her, I thought she was 15. I felt like I was like gonna be on one of them programs where I'm like, oh geez, this girl, how old is she? You know what I'm saying? Like, she looked kind of young when I first met her, like 7 years ago, man. Not like underage. I thought she was like 21 or 22. I'm like, damn, look at me, my old self. I'm talking to this man.
This baby.
Let me stop with Kathy, man. But Kathy, go ahead, man. The money penny to my James Bond, the Tennille to my Captain, the Lauryn Hill to my Rob is Wyclef. The Lauryn Hill to my Pros Michelle. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling? All things Becky Lynch and Paige and good eating in Louisiana.
So you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517. And on my YouTube channel, I just dropped a video of Sid Mars, and that I made myself. And after this whole thing with Wembley, I'll have the annual Soraya birthday video, which was late because of Wembley. So check that out in the near future.
Awesome. So y'all definitely make sure you follow her. She does a lot of great things as well. And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyes are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. It's past my bedtime. But before I partake in those activities, if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to some cool places every now and then. I might be going to Miami or LA next month. I don't know. It depends how I feel. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. You can also find our podcast on social media or on Twitter X, Instagram, Threads, which is actually part of Instagram. And you can find us at Ringside Society. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're also on Spotify. We're also on Teespring too. We sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have T-shirts, tank tops. We have hoodies. We have long sleeve shirts. We even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. Definitely check us out. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. We're about to release our Miami Life T-shirt. And we got a couple more cool designs coming as well. So definitely be on the lookout. Check us out. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can see cool episodes like this one, cool interviews like the one we did with, Katie Hebner and Dom Furio and American Ninja Warrior competitor Ryan Dotson, many other great men and women in professional wrestling. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society when you go to YouTube. I want you to see that really handsome, beautiful, dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it. That's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to. and we're not going to stop doing that. And to those of y'all that are listening later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Kathy Knight at Cafe Du Monde for the buy one get one free special on beignets. Damn, those things are like crack. We're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. Man, it still sounds weird when you say it. I don't know, but hey, it's all good. But with that being said, we just want everybody to know that we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast, but we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag, we are not the same. With that being said, hey, yo, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for the great illustrious artworks of Giselle of Funky Punk NYC, the brilliance and the future great voiceover work and scripts that are going to be written by JB versus the World, and for AEW All In. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back next week with some more impressive guests on some more impressive episodes. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Rest in peace, bro.
Yes.
Rest in peace. Yes.
And Terry.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We forgot. Thanks for reminding me. So, recently, thank you, Kathy. I don't know what I would do without you. And thank you, JB and Giselle. So recently, we had 3 deaths this summer in pro wrestling, and I was supposed to do one for Exotic Adrian Street, but it kept slipping in my mind. So yes, we lost Exotic Adrian Street last month, and recently, man, this week has been so terrible. We lost hardcore legend Terry Funk, who was also a former NWA World Champion, and we lost Bray Wyatt, who was a former WWE Champion as well. It's crazy how life is, and somebody once said, don't take pictures of the wrestlers if you're a wrestler because you'll come off as a mark. I would say this. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not in the industry, but if I could tell you wrestlers this, take the picture. Because look at how young Bray Wyatt was, 36 years old, and he passed away. Make the most of the time. I feel very bad for Bray Wyatt and the rest of his family, because now they lost somebody they love. His children don't have a father in their life now. So my thoughts and prayers are with Bray Wyatt, the family and friends of Exotic Adrian Street, Terry Funk, and Bray Wyatt. It's just sad how this happened. But going around the room real quickly, and I know we should be done, but if you guys have any words that you'd like to say, go ahead and feel free to give them, and then we'll end it with a 10-bell salute.
Yeah, it just it always sucks when people die in general. So when wrestlers, we watch these people grow as we grow up. I watched Terry Funk in NWA, WC/WCW, because they were both, WCW was coming up, it was NWA. A lot of more people, like the younger people, they followed Bray through his career. I was kind of like that with Terry Funk, watching his career. He's a legend, not just a hardcore legend, but a legend in general. You think people are immortal, and Terry was one of them. Did never think he would pass away, but he did. And then Bray was a shock, to everyone. And I got to meet Bray, and it was pretty cool when he walked. It was a Lake Charles house show. He walks out of his car and he says, "I'm home," because he said that for a few reasons. I mean, in his storyline, Bray Wyatt's supposed to be from the swamps, the Louisiana swamps and stuff like that, and then in real life, his mom actually owns a hotel in Louisiana, so for him to say he was home, that was really cool. Just a genius, like with all his characters, he made all his characters work. And I actually tweeted the other day, I said, okay, say he didn't die and say that he couldn't wrestle because they kept saying he was gonna come back and he was gonna wrestle again and get in the ring. But say he couldn't, he would have been one hell of an agent backstage or a writer, with all his ideas and just his characters that he had. And we actually lost Bob Barker today too. I don't know if everybody knows that, but they say things happen in threes, and that's the three that happened this week. But just a shitty week for everything. But it's sad that and I'm rambling here, but it's sad that people remember when people die. To be nice to people. We should be nice to people every day, and we should be more loving and caring, and give people hugs and give them their flowers while they're still here. Not, everything's nice when people die and they say nice things about people then, but we should be saying it throughout, somebody's life. Don't just say it when somebody dies, because they're not here to see it, one. And it makes people feel good when they hear about themselves, how good people do and stuff like that. So just be kind to people, and stuff's petty, the grand scheme of things, all this fighting people do and stuff like that, and just love each other. And that's all I gotta say.
JB, Giselle, do y'all have anything to say before we close out?
I'll let Giselle go first.
Well, I will say that when I found out about Bray, funny enough, I was actually like streaming at the time, like on Twitch, and I found out after the fact, and I was just like kind of frozen for a bit because he was one of the wrestlers that I really enjoyed their creative work, their body of work, and their creative mind, and he had inspired me to, not be afraid to think outside the box, for lack of a better term, to, not be afraid of going against the grain, or even to create with the thought of that everybody is going to get it. Like, everyone doesn't necessarily need to get it. The people that will get it, they're they will be the ones that'll stay with you and follow you on your wavelength, but and then Terry Funk, when passing like literally just the day before, I do admit that I only started watching wrestling like in the 90s, so I kind of miss the era of Terry Funk, like when he was more in his prime. I did see some of his stuff in like WCW, and I've gone back and seen tape of him from like NWA times and stuff like that, and even like some of like the ECW stuff that he had done, and it was always a delight to watch him do what he does best, and like he really like exemplified what hardcore is supposed to be, like one of the greatest to ever do it. And like I don't know, I still feel a bit of shock from it, and I think with Bray especially, it kind of hit me because like he was my age, like he has beautiful kids, and I hope that JoJo and Bo and IRS, I hope they're hanging in there, and all of his family and everything. But yeah, it's if it sucks that some of these things always kind of end up forcing you to like remind yourself to like just like hug your people and tell them you love them and stuff like that. But If if there's any quote unquote good that can come out of that, hopefully it is at least that to be a reminder to tell your loved ones you care about them. So.
All right. So with that being said, yes, Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt, they were definitely two great wrestlers, and they will be sorely missed. They gave us a lot of matches and memories, and this is why I tell people, this is why you see. Yes, I know it may sound cliche when I close it off with be excellent to each other and party on, dudes, but life is short, life is precious. You always you always want to treat each other with respect and kindness, because at the end of the day, you never know where what might happen. So R.I.P. Bray Wyatt, R.I.P. Terry Funk. Always give people. Go ahead.
May I be brief before you close out?
Sure, go ahead.
I think we throw the term in wrestling around, thanks to MJF, generational talent, way too loosely. Wyndham Rotunda was definitely a generational talent, if there ever was one. A mind for the business, creative and compelling characters, the likes of which we have not seen since him and very rarely before him. Nobody that you've ever heard of in the industry, whether you're 1 or 6 degrees of separation, has anything negative to say about his person. Just the impact that you're seeing across the industry, like people that I saw the video that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson put out before this recording, and how they feel and their stories with them. And it's like, if you watch wrestling like that, like even if you, how would you know that Luke and Bray had that close of a relationship? Like, there's no way of knowing. Like, this is somebody's friend, this is somebody's brother, this is somebody's father and husband, family member, and he's just gone. And to everything that you guys have said, like, we have to be careful with each other, take care of each other, love on each other while we have each other, because we don't know. Life is short. Life can turn and flip at the drop of a dime. And my heart goes out to not just his family, but to his friends and to everybody in the industry that knew him, that was affected by him, that was inspired by him. Like it's a shame, because just like Giselle said, like, he's just a few months older than me. Like, I'll be 36 before the turn of the calendar, and just seeing how it could just go like that, especially from like something that has been with us and has been on our ass for the last couple of years in COVID. Yeah, and this thing is not over with. That's another thing we need to talk about. Like, COVID is not over with. It never left us. It's not spinning the block. It's been chilling on the block this entire time. So yes, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other, and just love on each other while we're here. And rest in peace to like a talent that wasn't even close to his peak, wasn't even close to his zenith, wasn't even close to meeting the potential that he was, like, not just in ring or out of the ring, but just as a person, as a father, still learning and growing as a human being. So yeah, it all sucks. And yeah, once again, my heart goes out to everybody.
Just to add one more thing, I was actually there when in New Orleans when Bray came back. And that speech he gave, that wasn't Bray, that was Wyndham. And it got me choked up. Like, I have a video of it on my YouTube channel, not the clout or whatever, but it's up there just to have a point of view from like the fan watching, and you could hear me like I'm saying welcome back, saying everything with that the fan said. There was a thank you chant that broke out at that time too, and it was just cool to see like when they would show the graphic, it said return of Bray Wyatt. And before he even got to his segment, everybody took out their phone and, during the commercial breaks, and they had their flashlights going way before, like hours before he was even supposed to show up. And then I have video of that too. Like it's cool to see. Like every time they had, fireflies and the flashlights and phones and stuff. And right before the graphic came up again, it said the return of Bray Wyatt up next. And man, everybody had their boots out. They were ready. They wanted to see that entrance. And when he came out, it was brand new music and everything. He gave his promo, and it came from the heart. And it wasn't even Bray. It was, like I said, that was Wyndham when he was like, "I'm really nervous. I just came back." He poured his heart out into that promo, and it just goes like all his other promos have always been fire, but like that was the real raw Wyndham that we all saw. It choked me up, and just to be there, and I'm grateful that I got to be there in New Orleans.
His entrance, I saw his entrance live at Survivor Series 2015 at the Undertaker's 25th anniversary. And yeah, second coolest entrance I've ever seen. Only second to Goldberg beating Hogan in '98. But yeah, just the coolest. It just like how everybody was just so immersed with their cell phones, with the waving them in the air like that, and with the lights off and how bright it was still. Like the lights have might as well have still been on because it was still bright as shit in there. And everybody's just in sync and loving it and just in awe of what they were seeing. And it was one of a kind. Like, yeah, it was one of a kind.
And I was there this past year, January, at the Pitch Black match, just watching them put things on the ropes to make it glow in the dark, and just everything about it was cool. And then like the and Bray and Ellie his yellow gear, and a lot of people shit on that match, but it was cool to be there in person and watch it. Just visually, because like I personally, I have a broadcasting degree, and you tend to like. I'm also a wrestling fan. I watch wrestling too, but like the extra stuff that if you're a broadcasting major, you hear like the crowd pop that they stick in it, like you hear the music, you hear this and that. You kind of watch it as a different fan. So to me, like aesthetically, it looked pretty cool, like the purple lights and then green, and it was just cool to be there in person to watch that match. And then that was just another innovation with Bray added to it. So it was really cool to see.
All right, so with that being said, I don't have any Bray Wyatt stories. All I know is how I may have seen him around SummerSlam 2018. I don't know if he wrestled during that time, but he was definitely a one-of-a-kind person. Definitely made a lot of work for him, especially as a second-generation wrestler. I've been watching over 30 years, and I've seen second-generation wrestlers. Some crumble under the pressure of having to live up to their father's legacy. But in my opinion, no offense to Mike Rotunda, he did well for himself and got out of his father and his uncle's shadows, because Barry Windham too was no joke as well either. So kudos to him. And my thoughts and prayers go out to them as well. And this is why you see why we do what we do here at Ringside. This is why you see we always interview people regardless of whether they have one match or 1,000 matches, because you never know what might happen. You never know where somebody's going to be. This is why we interview wrestling fans as well too, because you never know what somebody might be going through, or what might happen. We've had several people that have said, they feel special because we actually invited them to be on 15 Minutes of Fandom, or to be back, or to be on the show for one of these predictions episodes, or even one of our topics episodes, because one of our, it might seem like a pipe dream, but what we do here is just to provide a safe space for people to chill, be themselves, not feel like they're attacked and whatnot, So, like we always say, be excellent to each other, party on, dudes. Yes, it was from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, one of Keanu Reeves' earliest movies, but at the same time, there's a lot of truth in what they say there. And with that being said, like we always do, which I don't like doing, not because for anything, but it's just a sad time. We're gonna give Bray Wyatt, Terry Funk, and Exotic Adrian Street. And for those of you that don't know, Exotic Adrian Street was actually one of the most flamboyant wrestlers back in the day, when at a time where it was either shunned upon or it wasn't taken that seriously and like just laughed at. But he made it work for him, and he inspired a generation of future wrestlers. So with that being said, we're gonna do a 10-bell salute for each of those men that passed away. Here we go. Thank you, Bray. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Adrian. With that being said, we're going to part once again and say, thank you very much for tuning in. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.